So here's my audience. So thank you guys for coming. I'll be demonstrating how to pass a soccer ball. So who am I? My name is Miguel Amon, and I've been playing soccer. I started playing soccer competitively when I was in 6th grade, and I stopped playing competitively when I reached senior year of high school. I still am active in the sport now. I still grab a group of my friends and we just go have a pickup game. So I'm still actively involved in the sport. I also want to get into coaching. So soccer is one of the sports that I feel like I'm most experienced with, and I think I'll do the best job in. And I think I bring those experiences with me in my physical education career. At Iowa State, I've been fortunate enough to go to other schools and observe their programs, and whenever it was the soccer unit, I've noticed that some of the students felt discouraged and didn't want to get the ball passed to them, or they don't want to pass the ball just because they don't want to mess it up for their team. And I feel like soccer is about having fun, so being able to participate in the sport is very important. So I'll get into the presentation. I have a couple videos just of what happens if you mess up, so it's just a little way to make it a little funny. So as you can see, he completely messed up ball, and it's just a funny way of showing. I mean, everyone falls, even the pros, so you're not vulnerable or invulnerable to not falling. It just makes it funny. So I have another video. It's another fail. This one doesn't really involve with passing. It's just it's a little funny video as I was scrolling through. So the kid kicks the ball and it ends up bouncing off the wall, ricocheting, and hitting himself in the face. I just thought it was a funny video. So here's some of the cues that I have with how to pass a soccer ball. I'll be demonstrating it right over here. So first thing you want to do is kind of figure out which foot is your dominant foot. For me, it is my right foot. So it'll be the same thing if your left foot is dominant. It's just obviously with the other foot. So after you distinguish which foot is your dominant foot, you want to know where to kick it. A lot of things that I noticed or I've seen is a lot of people tend to kick it with their toes, a lot of the beginners, and that is very important that you don't do that, because you're able to mess up your toes and obviously further injure yourself when you're playing. So the correct way to kick it for beginners is you want to kick it with the middle of your foot, kind of where the arches are. It gets the most accuracy with it, and you get the most force behind it. A lot of people, this is obviously a beginning skill. A lot of the advanced players are able to kick it with different parts of their foot, but for right now I'm just going to be focusing on the beginning part, so that you want to be kicking with the inside of your foot. The next thing is you want to know where to kick it on the soccer ball. A lot of people tend to kick on the bottom of the soccer ball, and this causes the ball to fly over their teammates' heads and makes it a 50-50 ball, so the enemy or the opponents or you have the chance to get it. And you also don't want to kick it too high, because too high on the soccer ball, because then you won't get as much force behind it, so the ball won't travel to your teammate, and your opponents can end up taking the ball over. So you want to be kicking it right in the middle. So maintaining good eye contact when you strike the soccer ball is very important. You get the most force behind it and have the better accuracy for it. So after you know where to kick it and which part of your foot to kick it, you want to put your non-dominant foot, so it's my left foot, about a couple inches away from the soccer ball. You don't want to have it too close, because then you have the opportunity to kick your own foot and then you end up tripping, so you don't want to do that. You don't want to have it too far out, because then you'll be elongating your leg, and you can end up, this is a very uncomfortable position, and you don't have that great of accuracy when you kick. So you want to have it about a couple inches away. And the next thing is, it's very important that a lot of people don't realize that pointing your toes with your non-dominant foot is very important on how to aim. If your target is right in front of you, you want to be pointing your toes straight at him. And if he's a little to the left, you want to be pointing your toes at him. It helps position your body into the most advantageous position. So that's very important. A lot of people don't really realize how important that is, and they kind of just kick. So practicing that is very important. After you do that, the windup is what's next. So knowing how far and how much power you need to put into your kick. So if your opponent is like 2 inches away, or 2 feet away, I'm sorry, you don't want to be winding up super far back, because then you're just kicking the ball really hard at them and they won't be able to control it. So knowing how far you need to wind up your kick, knowing if they're 2 inches away, maybe like right here is perfect. And if they're farther away, obviously you want to have a little farther back with the wind up. So being able to distinguish on how far you need to kick, or how far you need to wind up your kick, is very important as well. The next thing is the follow through. So when you're kicking, you want to be able to go all the way through, because if you stop short, you won't be getting as much force behind the ball, and the ball might not be able to get to your teammate. And if you stop like midway, you won't be getting force, and the ball won't get to your teammate. So I'll be demonstrating how to actually do this. So, like I said, maintaining good eye contact with the soccer ball, knowing where to kick it, having your foot placed a couple inches away, and the wind up. Alright, so it's pretty simple. Obviously, like I said, this is a very beginner skill. So the more players who are more experienced with the sport will be able to pass it in different ways, in multiple ways. But yeah, so this is just big for beginners. It's just a way for students who feel discouraged, kind of feel like they want to participate. Knowing the skill will help them feel confident in themselves, feel like, hey, I can get the ball, I know how to play soccer, and so pass me the ball, like I'm a good player. So that's my presentation. This is my audience again.